If you thought a blockbuster franchise couldn't get more personal, Vin Diesel just dropped a candid bombshell about Fast and Furious as it heads toward its final lap. Today we are not just talking about car chases and street races. We are unpacking the real engine behind this saga, legacy, collaboration, and that weighty moment of delivering a finale that actually lands. If you're here for the thrill, you'll get the thrill. If you're here for the craft, you'll get the craft. Let's dive in. The hook is simple but the implications are huge. After 25 years, 8 directors, countless writers and crew, a finale still feels earned. Diesel's message isn't just a memorial post, it's a blueprint for why this franchise endured. It's not the stunts that kept people watching, though they're exceptional, it's the sense that a shared project can outlive any single career arc. What makes this really interesting is how he frames the finale as a responsibility, not a curtain call. He's treating the end as a duty to everyone who poured into it and to the audience who stuck around. From my perspective, that shift, from "we must finish" to "we owe it to the community," rethinks what a finale is supposed to do in a franchise that's become a social phenomenon as much as a movie series. One thing that immediately stands out is the emphasis on return to roots. Diesel hints that the final chapter is circling back to Los Angeles, to the streets that started it all, and to the street racing ethos that gave the franchise its original pulse. This isn't nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, it's a storytelling move to re-anchor the finale in the core identity the audience fell in love with. In my opinion, recentering on car culture signals a deliberate move to reward longtime fans while giving new viewers a doorway into the franchise's DNA. It suggests the endgame isn't about bigger explosions, it's about reclaiming what made the journey feel intimate and earned. There's a collaborative philosophy here that deserves attention. Diesel celebrates the ecosystem, the directors, writers, crew, and fellow performers, who collectively created something bigger than any one person. What this really suggests is a meta lesson for big franchises. Longevity isn't built by the singular vision of one star or director, but by a culture that sustains and evolves through shared effort. If you take a step back and think about it, the finale becomes less about wrapping up plot lines and more about closing a circle of collaboration that kept the series relevant in a fickle entertainment landscape. One detail I find fascinating is how he juxtaposes the weight of delivering a finale with the joy of collaboration. That tension, responsibility versus opportunity, becomes the emotional backbone of the narrative he's describing. Let's talk about the timing and the bigger trend. The idea of a well-aged franchise delivering a meaningful ending is now a cultural touchstone. We've watched series push finales years, even decades, after their peak. The Fast saga isn't just closing a chapter, it's signaling that a successful series can honor its past while still designing a compelling, connective future. From my perspective, this sets expectations for other long-running properties. Fans don't just want an ending that ties knots, they want a conclusion that feels like a sustained conversation with them. The move to emphasize a final city, a final sense of place, and a final balance between spectacle and sentiment is a pattern we're likely to see echoed in other sagas that survive trend cycles. So what does this imply for the finale itself? If the final chapter leans into authenticity and rooted storytelling, returning to streets, focusing on character traits that have persisted, we might see a closer alignment with the franchise's core themes: loyalty, family, and personal responsibility under the pressure of spectacle. What people don't realize is that the spectacle itself serves the emotional payoff. The more grounded the setup, the louder the finale lands. This is less about a perfect bow and more about a vivid, communal send-off that respects the long road traveled. In the end, Diesel frames this as a collective victory. Nobody does this alone, and the act of building something together, across writers, directors, and performers, drives the magic. If you zoom out, this isn't just about finishing a movie franchise, it's about honoring a creative culture that thrives on collaboration and shared risk. What this really suggests is a broader trend in Hollywood. Enduring brands survive when the people who love them feel they've helped shape the journey, not just consumed it. So as we wait for March 17, 2028, we are not merely counting down to a finale. We are watching a carefully designed return to origins, a celebration of collaboration, and a statement about what a lasting franchise can teach us about collective storytelling. The bigger question for the audience is, how will the ending honor the road that brought us here, and what does the ending tell us about the future of big, communal entertainment? If you've got theories about what Fast and Furious should prioritize in its final act, or which threads from the earlier films deserve a last, satisfying note, drop them in the comments. And tell me, what's the one lesson you hope the finale leaves with the audience, and with future blockbuster storytelling in general?